Hey, we're the Nintengeeks, and today we're going to be reviewing Nintendo's newest game console, the Nintendo DSi. There's quite a few differences between the Nintendo DSi and the Nintendo DS Lite. Some of the biggest differences are, one, it's actually longer in length here, if you can see. It's longer. It's the same width going this way as it always has. But it is shorter, which is weird. It also weighs less than Nintendo DS Lite and has a couple new awesome features.
The first feature we'll be showing you is the camera and the photo album. A couple things you can do is favorite photos using the three different little icons, so you can organize them later. Some of the editing options it allows are distortion. Many of these options can be done before or after a picture's taken. When you hit complete, it saves a new copy of that picture. Another thing you can do is use the graffiti option, which allows you to draw or add things like hearts and paw prints onto a picture. You can also use a mirrored option where you're allowed to mirror the image in many different ways. You can also merge two faces together using the face finder. This again can be done before or after a photo is taken. There are more options as well. The next thing we'll be showing is the web browser, which is a free download that comes with the DSi if you buy your DSi before October, I believe. It is similar to the version of Internet Channel that is available on the Wii. It has some key differences though. You're allowed to use the writing tool, which allows you to draw letters using the stylus instead of the keyboard. Unfortunately, I can't really do that. A lot of people say it's really slow, but in fact it kind of judges on how fast of a router and how fast your internet speed is in the first place, although it is slower than regular computers. It takes advantage of the fact of the touch screen and allows you to switch from screen to screen with the views to allow you to magnify images. One thing, however, that really slows the Nintendo DSi's browser down is when you go to pages with many images and pictures. It also doesn't have a very large capacity for temporary files, and if you're browsing lots of pictures or sites with lots of data, you may have to clear your history and other things like that. That's another thing, is you have history on the Nintendo DSi browser, which was not as available on the Nintendo Wii's browser.
Next we have the DSi shop channel. Yes, just like the Wii's, we have a shop channel. It might take some time to load, but after a while it will load. Nintendo says that they will be releasing more weekly updates. You have some right now like Brain Age. You can get 3,000 points if you register on Nintendo.com your DSi. There's also a shopping guide to help you learn how to use the DS shop channel. You can buy points for your DS with credit cards or redeem them. There are some DS things that are free, which so far they've added only the internet channel.
The next application we'll be showing you is the sound application, which allows you to play back ACC files or recordings you make yourself.
Recording a sound to test with. Blah. Recording a sound to test with. Blah.
Recording a sound to test with.
Recording a sound to test with. Blah. Sound to test. Recording a sound to test with. Recording a sound.
The next application we're going to look at is something that was available with the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo DS Lite. That's right, it's PictoChat. PictoChat is still on the Nintendo Dsi. There's still the same chat rooms, and nothing's really changed, so you could chat with all your people, all your friends who are still using the Nintendo DS Lite, because they're losers. There's my brother with his Nintendo DS Lite. Loser.
Another thing that's the same is the DS download and play. You can still connect to your buddies on the DS and the DS Lite. In this one, we're doing Mario Kart. Like usual, it takes its time loading. But the top screen for some reason is the old DS Lite menu. So I don't know what's happening there, but might be something they gotta update.
So here's kind of the overview of the Nintendo DSi compared to the Nintendo DS Lite. As you can see, on the left is the Nintendo DSi, and on the right is the Nintendo DS Lite. Obviously you could probably tell the difference because of the camera. Also, it looks different. That's because the material's different. They made the Nintendo DSi less smudging than the Nintendo DS Lite and the Nintendo DS. That's kind of great. It feels different too. If you've noticed, the screen on the Nintendo DSi is actually a 1/4 inch bigger. Woohoo, a 1/4 inch. It's not that much though, and I really didn't notice. It doesn't stretch your games either, so that's okay. There's a GBA slot on the DS Lite, but not on the DSi. They removed that function. Also, the power button's now a button instead of a slider, and it's inside the casing instead of on the side. Another thing is the screens look a lot different. I find the graphics to be a little different on the Nintendo DSi. I don't know if there's actually a difference or it's just me.
So all in all, I rather like the Nintendo DSi, and I find it far more superior to the old Nintendo DS Lite and DS in many ways. So that's it for this review, and it's Nintengeeks signing off.